Hello there, I'm Jack, and I welcome you to Phantom Chamber, a safe space of dread and distress. Feel free to stick around. It was September 16th, 1994. A rural school in Zimbabwe became the epicenter of a spine-chilling encounter with a UFO on a sunny morning. The incident, witnessed by a group of school children, teachers, and locals, left the entire nation stunned and triggered a worldwide investigation into the possibility of extraterrestrial existence. On September 16, 1994, at approximately 10:15 a.m., more than 60 students at Ariel Primary School in Ruwa, Zimbabwe, were playing in the school during their morning break. Suddenly, they noticed a peculiar object hovering silently in the sky above the school. The UFO, described as a disc-shaped metallic craft with bright lights, seemed to be just a few hundred feet above the ground, leaving the young witnesses astounded and terrified. As more the students reveled in their break, their playful innocence was interrupted by a surreal sight in the sky. Hovering silently above them was a peculiar object, unlike anything they had ever seen before. Described as a metallic disc with radiant lights, the UFO seemed to defy the laws of gravity, deftly maneuvering through the azure heavens, wide-eyed and hearts racing. The children could scarcely believe what they were witnessing. As word spread, the school's staff rushed outside to verify the children's claims. Among the witnesses were the headmaster, several teachers, and nearby villagers. Their accounts confirmed that there was indeed an inexplicable object in the sky. According to the students, beings with big black eyes were visible inside the craft, gazing intently at them. One of the students, Emily Trim, who was 12 years old at the time, recounted the experience. It was as if they were trying to communicate with us through their eyes. I felt scared and fascinated at the same time. The whole thing was like nothing I had ever seen before. According to the young witnesses, the beings they observed inside the UFO were humanoid in shape, but appeared distinctly different from humans. They described them as having big black eyes that seemed to penetrate the depths of their souls, leaving an indelible impression on their minds. The eyes were often emphasized as the most striking feature, exuding an otherworldly aura. The children mentioned that the beings had slender, elongated bodies, and some recalled seeing them dressed in tight-fitting, metallic-like clothing, adding to their futuristic and extraterrestrial appearance. Their limbs were described as long and thin, contrasting with the more familiar proportions of a human body. Some of the children also described the beings as having a peculiar and subtle communication with them. While there were no spoken words, the young witnesses, just like Emily, expressed a sense of connection and a feeling that the beings were trying to convey something to them through their intense gaze and body language. It is crucial to note that the children's descriptions were shared spontaneously and without collaboration, making their accounts all the more compelling to researchers and investigators. Their consistency in describing the entities they saw inside the UFO contributed to the credibility of their shared experience. The eerie encounter lasted for nearly 15 minutes before the UFO emitted a blinding flash of light and rapidly ascended into the sky. The witnesses were left bewildered and disturbed by the encounter, with many of them reporting difficulty, sleeping, and recurring nightmares. In the days that followed, the incident at Ariel Primary School attracted widespread attention and media coverage. Local authorities initially dismissed the accounts as mere imagination or a prank, but as the number of witnesses increased and their stories remained consistent, the case took a more serious turn. Investigative teams from both local and international UFO research organizations arrived in Zimbabwe to conduct their own inquiries. Dr. John Mack, a prominent Harvard psychiatrist and UFO researcher, led one of the teams. He interviewed the children and found their descriptions remarkably consistent, leading him to believe that the encounter was a genuine and shared experience. Dr. Mack stated, "These children were not making up stories or hallucinating. Their emotions and reactions were authentic and showed no signs of deceit." The UFO encounter became one of the most extensively investigated cases in the history of UFO phenomena. Researchers studied the environmental effects, such as radiation levels and soil samples, but the results were inconclusive. Skeptics attributed the sighting to mass hysteria or a natural phenomenon. Yet their arguments failed to provide a satisfactory explanation for the children's vivid and similar descriptions. As the nation grappled with the Zimbabwe UFO encounter, another unsettling phenomenon lurked in the shadows, adding a mystery to the already perplexing incident. Reports of strange cattle mutilations emerged from remote farms in the vicinity of Rua, where the UFO sighting had sent shockwaves through the community. In the weeks that followed the close encounter at Ariel Primary School, farmers in the region began discovering their livestock in macabre and inexplicable conditions. Cattle were found dead, their bodies showing bizarre and surgical-like mutilations. The carcasses exhibited precise incisions, with organs and body parts seemingly removed with extraordinary precision. The eerie similarities among the mutilations left farmers and investigators alike in a state of unease. Speculation about the connection between the UFO sighting and the cattle mutilations ran rampant. Some locals began to suspect that the unidentified flying object had something to do with the disturbing deaths of their livestock. Whispers of alien experimentation and clandestine government involvement filled the air, creating an atmosphere of paranoia and fear. Local law enforcement and agricultural authorities launched investigations into the bizarre mutilations, but their efforts yielded little concrete evidence. Autopsies and forensic analyses were inconclusive, leaving the cases shrouded in uncertainty and conspiracy theories. Some suggested that predators or scavengers might have been responsible for the mutilations, while others refused to discount the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. Despite the scientific scrutiny and public skepticism, the Ariel School UFO encounter remains unsolved, leaving an enduring enigma in the realm of UFO phenomena. The incident had a profound impact on the children who witnessed it, shaping their beliefs and perspectives well into adulthood. Beyond the immediate aftermath, the case prolonged the discussions about the possibility of intelligent life beyond Earth. Scientists and enthusiasts worldwide revisited the question of whether Earth had been visited by extraterrestrial beings and whether governments were concealing evidence of such encounters. In the years following the encounter, some of the witnesses reported experiencing strange phenomena throughout their lives, including recurring visions, vivid dreams, and a heightened sense of empathy and environmental consciousness. These experiences, they claimed, were directly connected to the inexplicable encounter they had at Ariel Primary School.